You know, pulsex is pretty cool, but who cares about that? Who even cares now? We've got something cooler in the pipelines. Pulsex, who needs it? I thought pulsex was cool. Man, I've been looking into the potential for this. I think it's even better than pulsex. I think it's literally better. I looked into Metamask swap feature, which they initiated basically a year and a half ago in October 2020. For the first 6 months, they didn't really do much volume with the swap feature, but then they just started basically raking in the dough. Like while no one was looking, Metamask just started freaking printing, making $170,000 a day in fees at 20 million a day in volume. This was a year ago. Yes, the numbers are bigger now. But I'm just giving you an idea of what we may expect if Richard is to make a sacrifice coin for a wallet that isn't just, it's not going to be a duct taped on token. With just $20 million of volume through the swapping through MetaMask directly, MetaMask earns around like $200,000 a day. And that was a year ago. This is 1.23 billion like cumulative volume they've done. Well, now they've got almost 19 billion, and that's all. 18 of this billion basically happened in just 1 year, even though they've been out for like 1.6. Wow, that's crazy. Now, if you do the math, 18 billion times the fee, the service fee, which is 0.875% per swap. They just take that much away from whatever you're trading. So if you trade $10,000, you get $87.5. That's how much they're earning on that amount, which when there's billions of dollars, this is the number in yearly revenue, which is insane. Now, what I've found is what they do with their fees they generate, they actually, whatever it is, they turn it into Ethereum. And since they did that, now the revenue they earned since Ethereum appreciated was like 350 million. They're basically making almost $1 million a day in revenue. Imagine Richard Hart's token has tokenomics similar to pulsex buy and burn and uses that revenue to buy up its own token supply off the market and then burns it. What you'd be seeing is, we'll just go with the lower number. So like $500,000 a day of buy pressure for this coin. If you had $10 million of liquidity for the token that's attached to the wallet, if there's $150 million pushed into that, like say it was just a market order, instead of like spreading it out over time and assuming buying and selling, since price moves as a square, if you put in 15 times the liquidity as basically buy pressure, then you have to square that number. So since 150 is 15 times 10 million, 15 times 15 is 225. So 225x the price if no one even bought at all. Like if no one bought at all, just the buying itself up from the revenue, it would be pushing up the price of whatever his wallet coin would be called. And that's crazy. That's if no one bought or sold. So even if there's no user wants to buy it, it's being bought up by everyone just doing these swaps and then instigating the buy and burn. That's pretty cool, right? You're like, oh, well, I think, pulsex can do better than that. If we're doing 1 billion a day in volume, that's more volume than, MetaMask swaps. But MetaMask's fee is so much higher. It's almost 1%. And they don't care what chain you're using. So you're chain agnostic, you're DEX agnostic. If someone goes and trades on Uniswap, do you get anything in pulsex? Like, does pulsex get bought up? No. If they trade on SushiSwap, do you get does your coin pulsex pump from that? No. But if everyone's using a wallet, or just some people are using this wallet and they're swapping through it, which people tend to do, where I just showed you, this is how much volume they're doing. It's not like it has no volume. It's literally a proven concept. Since you don't care about the chain or the DEX, you're basically so safe. It's like such a safe coin to hold because you're owning 1% of basically DeFi trading in general, no matter which chain wins or which DEX wins. You're not locked into like, oh no, all these better features are on Uniswap v3, and so they're going to get a lot of volume over there, and our volume's going to dry up over here. Nope, it doesn't matter if they're trading through the wallet. Then if they're using v3, if they're using any v2 AMM, if they're using 0x, if they're using, oh, dude, it doesn't matter. You're super agnostic. You don't care where they're trading, what they're trading. It gets revenue. And then it also could potentially be buying up its own token supply. Maybe only half of it's used for buying up token supply. The rest is used by, Richard's dev team or something, or an address that you expect no profit from. But any amount of this is crazy, because look at this number, guys. Look at this. Look at this number. This is unique accounts. So this is from a year ago. They had 100,000 unique accounts using the swap feature. In a year, it 11x'd. Doesn't that number look pretty low, guys? Just a million, 1.1 million people trading through swaps. I think Metamask has around 20 million wallet users. And so this is around 5% are using the swap feature. And I think we're going to see more than 1 million people joining DeFi over the next couple years. I would do you think this number can't 10x? Do you think this number can't 100x in the next 5 years? And it's very convenient. That's why you see all this volume. It's just growing and growing and growing. Almost $19 billion of accumulated USD volume. That is huge. People are always going to need a Web3 dApp wallet that allows them to connect to dApps and interact with their coins. If Richard's team can make a solid Web3 wallet with amazing features and maybe an awesome token to go with it, I don't see how that would be a bad call as the next coin to get into. So I'm very excited to bring this information to you guys. So basically, if any new chains come out that are EVM based, even Ethereum growing, all of that, being a part of that wallet that pumps itself up through revenue, being sent through the buy and burn, if they decide to go that route, it could be huge. So I'm really curious to see what Richard plans to implement. I'm hoping maybe they even implement privacy first type tech. So by using the wallet, you almost anonymize yourself. If you go into certain coins, perhaps it just always adds you to a pool in a decentralized way. Then whenever you move your coins again, they're anonymous. And so you're kind of onboarding people to protect their privacy as just an added benefit. You don't have to really sacrifice anything, and it's very simple. If they can implement that, I think you'd get huge traction over time, and people would be more protected. There's lots of different additions to the wallet that could be made, just user experience type stuff, descriptions, documentation, how you can sort your stuff, keep track of your stuff. You know how easy people lose stuff in DeFi? You're like, oh, where did I put that? Those tokens, where'd I stake those? Being able to find the stuff is pretty important.